The sun has set on Atlanta, but not inside the Convocation Center. The LED lights are as bright as ever as we have a very exciting 5A Final Four matchup on our hands here in the heart of Atlanta between Lee County and the Trojans and Tri-City Bulldogs. The final game tonight, the final 5A team punching their ticket to Macon. We'll know that after this game, and we're so excited to bring this game to you. I'm Paul Maruth, joined alongside by Jonathan Jones and Andrew Tulowitzki. And this is going to be a blast, guys. I can't wait for this one.
Yeah, this is going to be a good game, to close out just the evening. But these are two teams that, they have everything that any team would want. They have offense, they have guys who are athletic, and they have great shooters. And it's really going to come down to execution.
Should be a fun game. Fast-paced both ways. Should be really competitive. Two teams that play really tough and physical. Looking forward to this one.
Absolutely, and thinking about the keys for these teams to get the win. Pardon me, we'll get to the keys later. Just wanted to give you all a heads up. But the starters, starting off with Tri-City, just had a quick trip down the road from the Tri-Cities, which is Hapeville College Park. One more that I am blanking on, I apologize for that. Introducing all the starters in this Tri-City team, 24-6 coming into this one. And they have done such a great job because they have so many versatile shooters on this team, young and old. You got sophomores like Trey Keith. You got seniors doing good things like Khalid Jones. But switching our attention to Lee County, and boy, what a trip they had from Leesburg, Georgia. They were 25-5. We can see their starters all being introduced right now. Starting off, Braden Moore, Cameron Sanders, Braylon Ball, Osmani Chroma. I'm sure you know that name from Friday Night Football. And then closing it off, Matthew Hardwick. And this is a team that has really just been able to get it done by playing physical. That's their main key. But moving on to the keys to get this game, let's start off with Tri-City. And two very similar overlaps here. Tri-Cities wants to crash the board. They want to get rebounds. And then number two, defend the man. What man? You'll find out when this game starts off. But the keys for Lee County are going to be keep them off the glass, kind of the opposite. Tri-City's trying to get rebounds. Lee County's keeping them from getting rebounds, and then play hard. They think they have this physicality that's unmatched, and they're going to try to use it here tonight.
Well, for Lee County, when you say keep them off the glass, it's one of those things, if that's your number one key, that tells you everything pretty much about Tri-Cities. They're going to try to crash on any kind of shot, layup, three-point shot. So those are things that they kind of want to do from the start.
So down to the middle of Georgia, you'll see them standing on just about Macon for the tip-off here. And the tip will be won by Tri-Cities here. It's going to be number 3, Carby Martin, described as the heart and soul of this team.
I believe he's a lefty, too. So, lefties, they can get to the rim, they can shoot. He's like a 3-level scorer.
As a fellow Southpaw, love to see that. That shot by number 21, Sean Van Dorn, does not land.
See Lee County come out in a man-to-man defense, and it looked like Tri-Cities is going to try to go right at them, get the ball inside where their strength lies, see if they can get some easy buckets or get to the free throw line like they did right here.
First shot falls there by Van Dorn.
Van Dorn at 6'7", looks like he had a 3 or 4 inch height advantage over the guy guarding him. Again, they're going to try to go to that matchup quite often.
Just his combination there of size, skill, but also his ability to score is unmatched, and it's really going to be something that Lee County's going to have to try to stop here.
Yeah, how about Tri-Cities in this 1-2-2, full court press? It's like a token press, but it's a good press.
It's working here. Matthew Hardwick, the senior, is able to score there.
Found the opening in the zone and was able to connect a sweet lefty stroke from the mid-range.
Hardwick, by the way, is just a man, by the way, and he's a lefty.
Yeah, he's big.
Braden Moore, what an effort there.
And this kid, Braden Moore, I'm here to tell you right now, I've seen some clips of him. Not only is he a driller, so what we would say when I was coaching, driller means he could shoot it, but he's athletic and he plays hard. Like, he plays so hard, and I'm just looking forward to seeing him play on this evening. Like, he gives energy. He's everything he can be for his team in Lee County.
I mean, that's what this whole Lee County team is about. Talking to the coaches, they said they want to play hard, stay balanced, and leverage physicality to compete at a high level.
And you see Tri-Cities trying to go inside. They get pushed out a little bit. And I think Lee County will live with those shots.
Absolutely. That shot goes by Trey. Pardon me. They give it to Jalen Winfield, who he's probably their best player. 4-star prospect with 13 D1 offers. He'll lead the way.
He just has the athleticism, and he just knows. He just sprinted in there. He was untouched, and he got the offensive rebound and put it right in.
Lee County really confused, but they said they were going to keep possession, but believe that was the
didn't look like
incorrect call, and it will be Tri-Cities ball.
At Lee County, that last defensive possession, they forced a contested 18-footer. You live with that, but what you can't live with is giving up offensive rebounds, which is one of their keys to the game. You see it impacting the game already this early.
Tri-Cities with a very patient offensive attack here. Just taking what the defense is giving them. So that ball will bounce off the foot and roll out. Jalen Winfield just couldn't really handle that one.
Tri-Cities running their offense. Lee County was very physical on the defensive end, forced them off their cut a couple times, and then bodied the offensive player where he fumbled it and lost it out of bounds.
Cameron Sanders in a tough situation, gets the ball out to Azamni Chroma. Good physical ball game here so far. Your team doing exactly what they said they were going to do pregame, living up to the expectations they set for themselves, and the refs letting the kids play.
We talked about it, two really tough physical teams. You've seen it in the early going. You wonder if the officials are going to continue to let the physical play throughout the game.
Sanders, mid-range floater. And I personally love to see the physicality, because you never want, especially at a game this important, to go home and be like, well, if we got this call, we would have won. Because that's such an easy cop-out for so many teams after they lose. Blame it on the refs, blame it on something. But if the refs are letting them play, nothing you can really say.
Yeah, and even for both these teams, Lee County and Tri-Cities, it's like, you know how you see both these teams on paper, it's like, okay, they look pretty big, but they also, when you see them as you're watching the game, they are pretty big. So
Deep
it's going to be
three
physical.
goes for Cameron Sanders. And he's an Air Force basketball commit, so you want to talk about not only being good at basketball, but being just committed and hardworking. It's not easy to go play at those service academies.
And the place at Air Force, they don't just offer anybody. The head coach over there, Joe Scott, like he used to coach at Princeton. Like he's going to be working out there at Air Force, but that goes to show you exactly who they want to get.
We'll get the ball over, but it will not fall. Whistle's blown.
And back to Cameron Sanders, Air Force commit. That was a college basketball shot we just saw there from deep with the shot clock winding down. He can fill it up. He will be a great fit there. And again, you talked about it. They run some Princeton-style offense there at Air Force. He's going to maybe allow them to get a little creative there with the things he can do off the bounce.
I don't know. I wonder with you know, how the altitude, that shot will go too far, you know, with less resistance.
Yeah, no, he'll be just fine out there. He'll be just fine. And shoot, the staff might be watching this game like, you know, I think we need Cam right now.
There's Carby Martin there for Tri-Cities. He's called, according to their coaching staff, the heart and soul of this team, and he really leads their offense well. So get the ball actually back out to him here.
Anytime there's a big-on-big screen with Tri-Cities, you're seeing Lee County switch amongst their two bigs, and it's causing problems for Tri-Cities offensively.
Van Dorn with the three.
Just look at the discipline of Van Dorn as he's in this 1-2-2. Look at his arms. His arms just stay up. You know how hard that is to teach? Because that's his role on that, is to make them throw hang time passes.
Moore's shot does not go, but the second effort by Sanders is neither there. Wow, what an effort there. Trey Keith, their leading scorer, with a great fight there to the basket.
That's a layup. When I see that, him going as hard as he can in transition, playing off 2 feet and finishing that, that's why this kid, I'm like, okay, yeah, he's a sophomore. He's already got 1,000 points. Like, wow. That tells me a lot about him. And he just proved that with just that one play.
And a lot of sophomores would have trouble finishing that and one opportunity. Not Trey Keith, finished through contact. That is a high-level basketball player.
And it's hard to teach that as well. So you see Torrin Williams. Pardon me, that's not Torrin Williams. That's number 10, Braylon Ball.
Checking into the game for the Trojans, number 0.
Speaking of it, there goes Torrin Williams subs in for Braylon Ball.
Tri-Cities on a 6-0 run. You felt like Lee County was starting to gain a little bit of control, was feeling comfortable, and Tri-Cities right back at them.
And it's been, for Lee County, somewhat of a Cinderella run here. Their basketball program, at least going into the playoffs, ranked only 10th in 5A, and they haven't won a state championship since 1985, compared to Tri-Cities, who's been to 4 in the past 8 years and won 2. So it's a big deal for Lee County to be here.
Lee County coming into this game with a big win over Dutchtown, 72-69.
I think Trey Keith is, I mean, the fact that he stepped onto such a good team, such an experienced team, but making such an impact that we just saw there is really, he's added a different level to their team as the three bounces off the front of the rim by Torrin Williams. Wow, what a move there. 3, Carby Martin, the deep 3, Trey Keith off the side. Then what an effort there. Jalen Winfield. And that'll force a timeout to be called there by, pardon me, yes, by.
Coach Fort's fired up. They take a big run, 11-0 run to go up 15-8. Coach Fort's has done an incredible job at Tri-Cities. We talked about it. They've been in this position 4 out of the last 8 years in the Final Four. This program is one of the better programs in the state of Georgia. They have been as consistent as you can be. And here you have the underdog, Cinderella, Lee County Trojans, trying to give them a run for their money.
Absolutely, you're talking about Kervin Davis over there at Lee County. His 12th season there, and he came over from Colquitt County, where he was previously as a head coach. But here we go. We'll see if the Trojans have any answer to this relentless Tri-City offense we're seeing. It's going to be number 15, the big man with a great shot. Wow, Matthew Hardwick.
I like what Lee County is doing, putting Hardwick in the middle. He's a good decision maker. He's patient, and he can hit that mid-range shot against the zone.
But what about that there by number 2, Braden Moore? How he's able to get on the first guy. Second guy tripped him up, but still great playing. You mentioned he's such a hard-nosed player.
Yeah, he really is. And, I mean, like I said, I think he's also another one of those guys who is a 3-level scorer. Like I said, he gets to the rim, he can go for pull-ups, and he can make threes. He's already got a couple offers from SC State, Portland, a little bit of interest from Arkansas Pine Bluff. So I'm interested to see how he continues just to develop.
He's a good athlete, too. One of those first possessions was a high pass in front of the Tri-Cities bench, and he climbed the ladder to get that. He can jump. He can get off the floor a little bit, too. He's a good athlete.
Just as a reminder, the winner of this game will face off against who we had earlier today, which was Langston Hughes, falling to the eventual Final Four winner, which was, I keep blanking on the name because someone fill me in.
Woodward Academy.
Woodward, thank you. I was trying to drag it out and think about it. I'm like, hold up.
It's okay.
It's been a long day.
You've been here since 11 a.m., Palmer. It's okay.
It's game number 4.
Right.
Woodward Academy used a great second quarter and third quarter to extend their lead. They led by most of the game for about 10 points. Langston Hughes
put up an effort.
They did.
They did. They made it a game. And, but the Hayes brothers were able to close it out.
Absolutely is. The shot will go in there by number 2. Brandon Moore. I want to see Tri-Cities get Wingfield more involved. I know what they're doing is working, but he's such a special player. And I haven't been paying enough attention to see if it's Lee County's defense is intentionally targeting him, and that's why they haven't been able to get him really that involved, or if it's just how the game has played out here. Is he'll be in the corner.
Like I said earlier, they were switching some of those forward and big screens inside. I think that's caused some confusion for Tri-Cities. Maybe kept the ball out of Winfield's hands a little bit.
Van Dorn sinks his second 3 of the evening. He has been perfect from deep.
8 points so far for Van Dorn. He has played well from the start.
Tri-Cities with some good defense there to force that pass to go out of bounds. 53 seconds left to go in this first quarter.
It's been a really balanced, kind of effort on both ends of, of teams. So this is a really, hope everybody's watching. Sit down, buckle up, because this is going to be a great game.
It's been cleanly played so far. A couple turnovers each way, but you've seen some good sets, just like we saw right there.
Andrew Jones with a layup. Now, not the same Andrew Jones who used to play right down the block at Turner Field. A different one, no relationship with a 6-foot senior with a great layup right there.
Great name regardless, though.
Shot nowhere close there.
It's okay. It's okay. At least they're being aggressive. They're being aggressive, That's one of those as a coach, you're just like, no. It's just like, well, you better get it back. I hope you're gonna get it back.
You can maybe live with those a little bit. It's a dead ball turnover, so it doesn't allow Lee County to get out and run in transition. It was an aggressive mistake, like you said. As a coach, you're okay with those every once in a while.
Lee County trying to score before the quarter, but no luck. Such great defense, a fight for the ball. Scrum down there.
Fouls on Lee County. Number 0, Torrin Williams. His first personal. Bulldogs in the bonus.
This is Martin here at the line for Tri-Cities. Really good player. He's got, I mean, how many offers does he have? He's running. He's got so much, But really good player. He actually plays for Anthony Edwards 5 AAU, and no surprise, he's really good. And he's got interest from Georgia, so that's also pretty good too.
Pretty solid. Georgia's basketball program's on the come up right now. Had a really good season. Took down number 3 Florida earlier this week. As there goes the shot, number 23. Does not land. Jordan Houston, and the deep one tries to hit some cheerleaders, but comes up empty on both the cheerleaders and the net.
Tri-Cities 21.
So guys, Tri-City popped out to a big lead here, up 21-12. We'll see if Lee County has any answer when we come back in the second quarter after a few words from some of our sponsors.
There have always been a few ready to fight and win. Since 1775, these few have been Marines, and they come from across this land to defend the future of our nation. This year, our Corps celebrates 250 years, and Marines are proud to serve this country, each other, and all that is still to come for America.
And welcome back here for the second quarter, starting out with possession. That is going to be Lee County as they trail 12-21. We get the ball over to Cameron Sanders One of the leaders on this team, but one of the best players so far tonight has the ball now. That's number 2, Braden Moore. Will get it up to the big man who's able to get the force in, get the score. That's Matthew Hardwick.
He's a really good, just mobile big man. You know what I mean? He knows his game, gets right to the cup, plays off 2 feet, finishes right at the basket. Everything what you want in your 4 guy.
Tri-Cities came out to start the second quarter in a box and 1 on Braden Moore. It's going to allow opportunities for Hardwick there to get inside and get some one-on-one opportunities in space. He took advantage there. Let's see if Tri-Cities stays in that jump defense. Boom!
Wow, I mean, right there, Jalen Winfield, the dunk, but the problem is you see number 15, Matthew Hardwick, had to go in and guard Trey Keith, which just left open that part right under the net, and Tri-City was able to capitalize. But what a shot. This kid can shoot. Hardwick certainly can.
You love to see it. You love to see it.
Trey Keith
What's
gets
the
fouled.
big fella for NC State
NC
last
State,
year?
that's what I was going to say.
Yeah,
That's what
DJ
he reminds me of.
I'm getting some
Well,
DJ Burns vibes here.
Hardwick's a little bit, I would say he's in better shape than DJ
Yes,
Burns was,
yes.
but I get the comparison.
And I believe, are they both number 15?
That's a great question.
No, Burns is 30.
Oh,
He's 30
okay.
for
Well,
NC State.
when he's in college, he'll double his number, all that kind of stuff, and it'll all work out.
But in terms of, he's a bigger player at this level, but he does a great job playing at his own pace. There might be defenders that are quicker than him, but he knows how to use his body effectively to get to his spots, and he also has a great stroke from the mid-range and perimeter.
Absolutely. So, Torrin Williams, the junior, will be taking it out. Shoots it right back over to Sanders, who's in a little bit of a predicament here, but he'll just get it back to Williams. Kind of trapped here in this corner, but gets it to the big man. Who else but Hardwick? Didn't go exactly how Tri-Cities wanted to, but it all works out.
They stayed in that junk defense, although Braden Moore came out of the game. They moved the box and 1
Trey
over to Cameron
Keith
Sanders.
knocks that one down. You can see why his first team all-region with that sort of shooting.
That's just that's just a college basketball shot. He just caught it, turned right over his left shoulder, didn't hesitate, and just knocks it down. You could tell he's going to be a good player in college.
Hardwick trying to take control, but unable to right there. And we see number 13 in defense. You've probably heard his name playing football. One of the best running backs in the nation. As he gets involved there on defense in that block. Osamni Chroma, he was originally committed to UGA, decommitted on signing day. He'll now be headed off to Florida State next year to be a Seminole, but 4-star recruit, one of the top probably 5 running backs in the nation, and he set the record boards on fire last year for Lee County. And now also a member of the basketball team. I mean, just being a dual sport athlete is so important in so many different facets, but really impressive to see. Just a reminder, you're watching live coverage of the GHSA basketball semifinals on NFHS Network. NFHSnetwork.com/GHSA is your destination for the most comprehensive coverage of Georgia high school playoff action. Well, we know you found us here tonight. Make sure to find us here tomorrow. We have all the 6A Final Four games. Should be an absolute treat. I guess I won't be here, so I'm going to be tuning in on NFHS Network or maybe on the mobile app. So many options to watch. And really no excuses to miss the games. Van Dorn fading away, puts it up and in.
Offensively, Tri-Cities has it rolling right now. Lee County is trying to switch up their defensive looks. And Tri-Cities is ready for anything that's thrown at them right now. And when you got guys making shots like Van Dorn has, offense comes a lot easier.
But their defense too, although they give up an open look right there to number 10 Ball, but Ball don't lie, it doesn't go in.
Physicality.
Tri-Cities having some fun with it, back, forth, back. And then finally Winfield knocks it in.
I mean, Tri-Cities is flying all over the place. Almost got to that one.
It's crazy this effort they give, but they're too much. Omari Fort's not happy about that call, a little bit frustrated on the and one. It'll send Cameron Sanders to the line. See Fort's there, still frustrated.
Is he frustrated at the call or frustrated at the lack of rotation sometimes you don't know these coaches. You think if he was at the ref, he might have got a technical for that.
Who knows? Ref's been letting him play all day today, so pretty good. Tri-Cities looking to recover here, but whistle blown, and we talked about it first quarter. We're like, hey, there's not that many fouls going on. A little bit more here in the second quarter. Don't know if they're playing more physical, just blowing the whistles more just because they feel like it, but definitely something to monitor as this game progresses.
Yeah, well, both teams are just really ready just to continue to compete, so that's just going to happen. But the refs want to make sure it's still a good game, but they might have to call it a little bit tight at times when there's too many hand checking.
You'll see the officials get together during timeouts or at the end of quarters and halftime and talk about some of the things they got to make adjustments to. And you can see, I think, a concerted effort in the second quarter to call the game just a little bit tighter to make sure we're playing a clean game.
And as we say, there is a foul. This one will send Braden Moore to the line. Nothing but net on the first one.
Braden Moore, this will be his 4th free throw attempt. Aggressive player. If he can get around 8 or 10 free throw attempts, it'll really help his game and keep Lee County in this thing.
Winfield goes out wide and delivers there is number 21, Sean Van Dorn. 3 for 3 on threes.
He's just playing really just exceptional for his team right now. I know I got on my sheet here, it said Georgia Southern, man, they must be happy. I don't know if he's committed yet, but that's great
he
for
is
him.
Committed.
That's a big time gift for them.
And speaking of Georgia Southern, taking on Georgia State right now, which lets us be in this beautiful convocation center, which according to Google means a gathering of large amount of people. For those who didn't know, I may use that more in conversation. Whoa, here goes number 1, Trey Keith, taking advantage there of the turnover.
Van Dorn didn't get the bucket there, but he did get the deflection, the steal, and the assist. You're seeing him impact the game in different ways. He's got 13 points, but he's done a bunch of other stuff on the defensive end and on offense as well.
Whistle blown on the shot attempt there by Jordan Houston, senior shooting forward.
His second personal. Team's 3rd foul.
Starting to see the fouls really rack up here. But I don't think that's the story of the game. We need to move away from just playing basketball.
Lee County, I know they're down 15, but I feel like they've gotten some good shots. They haven't turned the ball over a bunch, a few here and there. I think they just need to maintain consistency on the offensive end, continue to get good shots, and hopefully at some point Tri-Cities cools off, because they're playing some decent defense, but Tri-Cities is making tough shots and executing on the offensive end. And
I don't necessarily have the exact statistics to back it up, as there's a 3 by number 11 that goes. That's Jones on that one. But I feel like Lee County hasn't really made any threes, which in this modern evolution of the game is so important, because obviously it's more points than a 2. As there's a 2 made by the big man. That'll be Matthew Hardwick. But I feel like, especially with how many that Tri-Cities has been making, that's kind of the difference here. Is obviously I think Tri-Cities played better, but I think that's why the differential is bigger than we think it is.
I think Lee County has hit 1 3. That was at the end of the shot clock. I think Tri-Cities has hit 6 maybe now. That's 15-point difference, and that's what you see on the scoreboard right now.
Another one?
Speaking of it, rebounds here. They're going to be aggressive here, quickly getting it out to Torrin Williams with the layup. And that'll force a timeout. Pardon me. Heard whistles blown. Thought there'd be a timeout coming. Delay of game warning, though, was given to Lee County there. I didn't see anything that seemed obvious on that.
Lee County here in a zone defense.
Van Dorn now goes for a 2. He really has the ability to shoot from anywhere on the court and be successful. Even that was almost a make.
Yeah, if you're Lee County, you just want to, even though you're not making threes right now, if you can just continue just to, just keep scoring. Just keep scoring and keep defending. And hopefully by the time it gets to the second half, you get closer.
Hardwick's shot misses, but tipped out by Tri-Cities. Omari Fords is fired up over there on that sideline. You wouldn't expect that they're up here by 14.
He's been fired up the whole game. And like we talked about before, maybe somebody to get to a rotation right, and that's why he's just like, he's just calling out his players, saying you got to be there. We talked about this.
But Lee County under control, cool, calm, and collected is the experienced Kervin Davis. Lee County going with their trusty old reliable Hardwick. His shot off the front of the rim though. So now pedal to the metal here for Tri-Cities. They're gonna go for the three. Don't deliver, they get the rebound.
They just gotta get a great shot.
Trey Keith with it, bouncing around, we'll send it over to Jones. Taking his time, 1:46 on the game clock, 10 on the shot clock. Really aggressive effort to go for that bucket there by Andrew Jones. Whistle is blown here. A little bit of an altercation, it appears, between number 4 of Lee County, Tricori Green, and number 3 of Tri-Cities, Carby Martin. I didn't see exactly what occurred there, but officials gave attention to it.
When you play as tough and physical as these teams do, those kind of things will happen from time to time. I didn't see anything blatant, just looked like two guys being really competitive and maybe playing through the whistle.
Four seconds on the shot clock here. Let's see what they get into.
Don't even have an option. Well, here, this is how you reset the shot clock real quick.
Wonder, should it? I don't know that Lee County had possession there to reset the shot clock. With that tussle, you're thinking maybe 1 second or a shot clock violation.
Matthew Hardwick, his first. Team's fourth foul.
Still unclear whose possession this will be. Haven't seen any arms pointed any way. Here we go.
Yeah, still Tri-Cities.
Trey Keith will go and take it. 34 on the shot clock. Full reset.
So a little box set, baseline out of bounds. Let's see what they do. Is it okay? Just
Trey
pop?
Keith. I don't know. Have a corner three if they want it, but Van Dorn says, I'll take it. Ball all over the court. Lee County gets possession here. Minute 20 to go as Williams trying to find someone to go to, who go to the trusty big man Hardwick. Good try there by Chroma.
Really good, patient move inside. Got his man up in the air and drew the foul.
As a coach, if the ball ever gets entered into the post from the top of the key, that means the defender must have either been playing behind or they weren't in what we would call a three-quarter. So that's probably why Coach Forts is over there just so upset. Like, how does the ball get cut? How does he catch in the post from the top of the key? It just should not happen. But sometimes it happens.
Yeah, those are things you want to try to eliminate, ball going into the paint from the top. One way that you can make that happen is have a really good passer like Matthew Hardwick to get it inside. Nice little high-low action. Resulted in a foul call and 2 free throws.
Minute and a half. Good try there by 11 Jones, but it'll be a Lee County ball. Can they capitalize? They have the numbers. The three off the back of the rim doesn't go there by 0. Williams. So now numbers mismatch the other way. That was a clean block right there. Number 0 on number 0. Thurman's shot got rejected there by Torrin Williams.
Great hustle to get back on defense, force the deflection out of bounds.
Braylon ball brings it into Chroma. Shot rejected. Chroma shocked at that call right there.
That might be the first charge all day. I don't even know.
Believe so.
That's one of those things where I think back in the day, well, I'm not saying back in the day like I'm old, but like that's where your coach said you got to lay your body on the line, and sometimes to win a game you have to do that. And if your feet are placed right on that floor, outside that charge circle, take a charge.
17 to go, shot clock turned off. Can Tri-Cities put more points on the board, get into the 40s to close out this first half? They've done a great job leading 39-27 here, and it's gonna be Trey Keith who'll get it outside. And no good. Can they put it back? 1 second to go. No. Tri-Cities still with a great first half, leading 39-27 in this Final Four matchup over Lee County. What'd y'all see out of that?
I just saw these teams are like, for Lee County, they definitely were starting to come back, which was good. And at first we were talking, they were down like 15, 16. Now it's not so much, right? It's only like, I can't even count.
12.
But 12, but it's good by them.
I thought Tri-Cities played a really good first half. They mixed up their defense. They were clean on offense, got really good looks, and also made some tough shots. If they continue to play that well in the second half, could spell trouble for Lee County.
Absolutely. Well, we'll have that entire second half for you and more in just about 12 minutes. Stay tuned. Don't go anywhere because we got to send one last team to Macon. See you in a few.
High school sports fans, relive your favorite moments. Just click the shopping cart below the video player to get your digital copy today.
This high school gym used to be packed most nights. Not anymore. Do you know why? Because bad behavior by fans, especially adults, has caused a shortage of game officials across the country. You see, without officials, we can't have sports. Don't let this become reality. It's time for a change. Let's bench bad behavior for good.
Hey, conductor, how about something new? You played this last year.
Come on, get your head out of your sacks.
We're trying to hear.
Well, I'm sick and tired of hearing your kid play the wrong notes. Where's my kid solo?
At least you can see your kid. Why is my kid stuck way in the back?
The conductor only plays his favorite.
My kid heard that solo.
You saying I did?
Yeah,
What's wrong with you?
We're here live inside the Georgia State Convocation Center. Tri-Cities leads at the half 39-27 over Lee County. I am joined here by Trent Marquith from Relentless Hoops. He is the guru in the state of Georgia when we talk high school basketball. So last year we did these games, Trent, and we had Ace Bailey playing in front of us. Wheeler here with a couple unbelievable talents. Grayson that had some high-level college players. The state of Georgia has unbelievable talent. Talk a little bit about recent years' talent that's moved on to college, NBA, and then we'll move forward and talk about some of the players that are playing tonight and in the Final Four and championship games coming up.
Sure. No, like you just touched on, that's what's great about Georgia basketball. Every year there's going to be something, and it varies from year to year, whether it's a forward, a wing, a point guard. There's going to be some type of top talent that's going to be great to watch for locals and everyone around the state. But like you just said, Ace Bailey was the headliner in the state last year. He's at Rutgers right now. Year before, Stephon Castro and Isaiah Collier, who both got drafted after their freshman seasons in college. Bruce Thornton before that, who's still producing well at Ohio State, that was from Milton. Scoot Henderson was in that class with him in 22, but reclassed up. And then you have Jabari Smith before that, Matt Cleveland. So a bunch of names just over the last 3 to 4 years, and it's always fun to watch, especially around this time of year.
growing up and playing high school basketball in the state of Georgia, I always felt like talent was stacked, but I think even from where we were 20 years ago, the talent has continued to grow. I think a lot of eyes nationally are on the city of Atlanta and the state of Georgia. Talk to us a little bit about some of the players playing 5A and 6A in these Final Four games and championships, and then any other guys that we might need to keep our eye on in some of the championship games next week.
Oh, yeah, it's great. I mean, just right here at Georgia State, these today and tomorrow, you have everything that you could want to see. You have arguably the top 2 teams in the state, and Wheeler and Grayson with a rematch. They played each other earlier in December, and both those teams are filled with guys. Caleb Holt, who came over from Alabama, he's a junior. Jacob Wilkins, a UGA signee. Amir Taylor, Kennesaw State signee. KJ Garris, that's just on Grayson. And Wheeler, Colbin Landry, who also came over from Alabama, who's a junior. Tyler Jordan going to Ole Miss. It just goes on and on.
Now talk about Trent. You've seen a lot of years past, you've seen a lot of talent in Georgia go on and go outside of the state. Talk about the focus at Georgia Tech, Georgia State, University of Georgia to keep some of the talent in-house and maybe some of the guys that are here in Georgia that are going to some of those schools.
Yeah, sure. They're definitely those staffs at the schools you just talked about are definitely trying to make an emphasis to keep those guys here. It can be hard, especially in this day and age with NIL and everything else that goes on, but like I just said, Jacob Wilkins from Grayson is going to UGA. Georgia Tech has signed multiple guys in the state with Eric Chatfield, Cole Kerouac. UGA also has Jackson McVeigh coming in, who was at Gilmer's, now at Overtime Elite. Georgia State will get a mixture of the high school guys and bounce back guys who transferred out of the state but are now coming back with Tenari Lane. They had DeJuan Odom before. So those staffs know that we have good talent and want them to stay in the state.
Well, Trent, I appreciate you joining us. Again, insider information on the state of Georgia and the talent here. Let's everyone thank Trent Marquith from Relentless Hoops. And we will take a break and we will be back live for the second half.
Sure. Thanks for having me.
High school sports fans, relive your favorite moments. Just click the shopping cart below the video player to get your digital copy today.
By the way.
And welcome back. 16 minutes until the final team has punched their ticket to make it. Will it be Tri-Cities, who leads 39, or Lee County, who only has 27, with a big comeback to make it? We'll have all that and more. The post-game celebrations, interviews, all coming here live on NFHS Network. And we can't wait to bring it to you. It's going to be a great game to end.
Let's see if Tri-Cities comes out here with just a little bit of a spark, because that's what they need. Sorry, Lee County.
Give it over to Trey Keith, the sophomore sensation. Good effort there, but comes up empty, number 21, Van Dorn. So now quick moving there by Lee County, unsuccessful in the shot. There's Torrin Williams. They already had it. Oh, pardon me. Lee County continuing to stay on the offensive.
Lee County still struggling to make another three-point shot. I mean, that changes. Oh, it might be right.
Jinx it. Nope. Sanders' shot is no good.
Should have said nothing.
Yeah, I mean,
well, I think you were into jinxing into him making it. As there's a big turnover. Sanders, who needs a three-point shot when you can do that?
Sanders.
A little bit of a hectic start here to the second half.
10-point ball game here.
Tri-Cities trying to go high-low. Lee County takes it away. Tough shot there. Really good defense by Lee County. Two really good defensive possessions to start.
Layup.
And we got a ball game here. 8 points, the difference is right there. Matthew Hardwick continues to get it done in the paint.
All right, so they had one stop, all right, then they had another stop. Can they get one more stop and then score?
Well, not there. Chroma called again on that one, frustrated on it. That's going to send number 21, Van Dorn, to the line.
So it looks like that's been the adjustment for Tri-Cities. They want to try to get the ball inside from that high-low middle of the floor. They're able to connect there and sends Van Dorn to the free throw line.
And we haven't mentioned it till now, but these teams matched up earlier this season. Tri-Cities did get the win, 83-76. A little bit lower scoring an affair so far here tonight, but similar in terms of the point differential. As there, Van Dorn makes his first shot.
Yeah, and once again for Lee County, it's just like you want to Well, I remember when I used to play college basketball, my coach would be like, you know, get 3 stops that will equal 1 kill, right? So for Lee County, they had 2 stops. If they would have got this 1 more stop, that would have technically been 1 kill for them. Then if you, on the offensive end, if you score, now you can see yourself getting yourself back into the game.
Coach using the college coaching lingo, got to get some kills there. So I hear that the numbers say if you can get 7 kills in a game, your chance of winning like skyrockets. Lee County's going to need some kills here in the second half. They're going to
timeout called there. Omari Ford still fired up. So explain a kill, because I have not played collegiate basketball. Don't know the lingo. Explain what a kill is.
So pretty much like I said, you're just getting 3 consecutive defensive stops in a row. So, you know, like I said, Lee County had 2 and they had scored. And now if they didn't foul Van Dorn on that last play, that would have been their 3rd consecutive defensive stop.
It's like killing the momentum.
Yes.
Got it. Okay, the kill is what threw me off there. I wanted to see what we were killing.
Yeah, however, on the flip side, then you also are supposed to score on the offensive end as well. Because if you get three kills and you don't score, okay, great, but you're still
They're doing the same thing. They're getting the kills as well.
Exactly. So, and that's the object of it. But that's something that coaches should usually do in practice. So that way, when you know you're playing those tough away teams or those teams where you know it's some rivalry there, you think about that going into that game.
Lee County trying to restart their streak of kills there, but they'll continue to send Van Dorn to the line. He's been perfect there tonight.
One of the most hardest things to do as a high school player is to, especially if you want to be a shot blocker, is to time when somebody exactly when the ball leaves their hands, then you block it. You don't want to block shots all the time when it's in the offensive player's hands. Wait till the ball leaves their hands and then time it and then block it while it's in the air.
Van Dorn makes the first.
Van Dorn 7 for 7 from the free throw line tonight.
Also for Van Dorn, how hard is it now in high school to get a college, offer in high school? Like, that's big time for him. I can't wait to see what he does next.
What a move there by number 2, Braden Moore. And quick moving offense here. As Winfield stuck in a tough position there. Gets it to his outlet. That's going to be Trey Keith, pardon me. Tri-City tries to settle down, figure it out. This Lee County defense is really doing a good job here in the second half. Oh. Hard whistle there on Tricori Green, who is just playing good defense right there.
And I know Green is upset with the call. He did have his hands up, which is what you want to do, but you can't walk through the shooter as they're leaving their feet. You saw that happen there, and that's why the ref made the call. He's a good job keeping his hands up. He just got to stay stationary, keep his hands up, and not walk through the offensive player.
Yep, ref explaining that to the Lee County coach as you explained it to us. So Lee County will make some substitutions. Off goes the fouling Tricori Green. We'll bring on Jordan Houston.
Yeah, just the discipline of that is just it's hard to do because you can play defense really great, but like you said, once Van Dorn turns around and fades from the basket, you don't need to walk right into him. Just stand there with your hands up, like Coach said, stationary, and then just see if he can make it.
Clanks off the front of the rim, but ends up going in. So he stays perfect at the line, a 10-point margin here, just like what we had, I believe, at halftime. Pardon me, it was 12 at halftime. Lee County doing a good job. Oh, but fast passing, but ultimately kicked out of bounds by Trey Keith. So it'll stay Lee County ball, much to the dismay of their head coach, Omari Forts, pardon me.
Yeah, Forts is just like, just get two hands on the basketball, and then we can go. Let's get possession of it, because every possession matters. It's only a 10-point game.
Houston thought about pulling up for that one, ends up going into the paint and misses the shot. Good rebound there by 12, Winfield.
This is where confidence has to come into play for Lee County. So if it's a wide open three-point shot, even though you have been missing, still take the shot. That's a great shot.
Yeah.
Don't get into it. And I get it. It's easy for me to stand up here and just talk about it, but it's easy to get in your own head and be like, I don't know if I can make this.
And speaking of pulling up on the wide open shot, we see Trey Keith do it. Comes up empty there.
Yeah, Houston there from Lee County. I agree with you, Coach. A nice kick out to him, open for three, passes it up, and he's still got a good shot. But when you're that open from three against a defense as good as Tri-Cities, I think you gotta put that one up.
Absolutely, Houston setting up again. We'll see if he pulls it this time, if he gets given the ball. Instead, they go to the big man. And they get to Houston. Doesn't pull it, instead sends it right back to Hardwick. Houston gets the rebound, misses the putback. Whoa, aggressive defense there, no whistles blown. Winfield misses it, but whistles blown. Travel.
Okay.
Returning to the game.
Man, you travel and you miss the dunk. That's not a good combination right there for Winfield.
I was hoping he would throw it down so we'd at least have the highlight make, even if he did travel.
Put on huddle, just cut out the ending where they rolled a travel.
Nobody will ever know.
Exactly.
Listen, in Winfield, he could take off from the logo of the Sun Belt Conference and make it off 1 foot. He can do that.
Williams' shot continues to clank off the rim, and I believe we're still at that 1 3-point shot made by Lee County, which was a deep three by, I believe that was Cameron Sanders. Yeah, Cameron Sanders has had that 1-3. I don't even think he's since shot a shot, it feels like, but 15 Hardwick able to put 2 on the board.
I mean, he's been the most reliable guy today for the Trojans. Back to Sanders, the shot he hit was the toughest shot they've taken from three at the end of the shot clock. Otherwise, they've gotten some good looks, hadn't been able to make them. I would guess 1 for 12, 1 for 13 from three at this point.
They just don't feel that aggressive with taking shots right now. I feel like Hardwick's the only guy who, if he gets the ball in his hand and he has a good look, he'll shoot it. The other guys are almost trying to pass out someone else, let someone else do the hard work, and it's not working out, although it is an 8-point game here.
But Braden Moore, I think he's still capable of being that. He can get himself going, and he hasn't gotten himself going as of yet in this second half. But if he gets going, he can fill up the stat sheet.
And same with Cameron Sanders, who you mentioned had that 3. If those two guys get working and Hardwick is doing what he's doing in the paint, this team can put points on the board. You don't get this far in the season if you can't. So it'll be interesting as they pull the deep 3, still missed, and they miss it long.
It's a lid on there, it feels like sometimes.
Well, you're forcing, if you're Tri-Cities, you're forcing guys that don't shoot as many threes to shoot the threes. They're face guarding Sanders, they're face guarding Moore. They're not getting a lot of clean looks, so it's other guys that are considered more of their role players that are taking these shots.
Moore is their best 3-point shooter on the year, 39%. But Hardwick at least is able to capitalize when they don't shoot those threes, get in the paint, and at least score 2.
I think that's what's opened up the game, is because they are face guarding those 2 perimeter guards. Hardwick is getting opportunities, but there again, you see the high-low from Tri-Cities. That's the 3rd or 4th time this half they've went to it and had success.
Allowed Van Dorn to get 2. Wow. Ford thought that was a travel there by number 2, Braden Moore, and I don't disagree with him on that.
He was out of control, but sometimes the call goes in your favor, and you just got, for Lee County, they're going to take it.
Absolutely. Taking their sweet time back there. Foul called. And go ahead. Both teams very close. Well, one team already in the bonus, but another one right on the edge. Fans upset here. It feels like there's been a lot of whistles blown, and even they'll blow the whistle, the refs will then have a conversation with the player. It feels like this game, the pace is really slowing down here in the 3rd quarter.
Lee County just has to stay confident. If the shot presents itself, you have to take it. They W, kick it back out, repost, swing the ball around. Don't try to do it by yourself. Got to make it.
Cord Williams finally hits a 3.
There you go. And sometimes for Lee County or any team, you need 1 3-point shot to go in. You get, now this is their second, you get another one to go in, now everybody starts to feel a little more better about themselves.
It's like the Trojan horse, you know, you don't really see any of them, but then they're all about to come out and the Trojans will start scoring 3s by the dozen here.
Bulldogs in the bonus.
As we talk about that last possession for Lee County, that's a really unselfish play by Cameron Sanders. He allowed the double to come to him. He made the right play to kick it out. I think it was number 10 ball, then made one more pass, and they were able to get an open 3 as a result of that really unselfish play from a player who needs to be really aggressive to get his team back in this game.
That may be the first free throw miss I've seen, feels like all night here, by Tri-Cities. Now let's see if there's more energy here with Lee County. They made that 3. Can they do it again?
Yep, and Tri-Cities here in a little bit of a 2-3 zone, trying to throw off Lee County.
And it's working in a predicament. And that'll be Tri-Cities ball.
Sometimes during any zone, 1-3-1, 2-3, 1-1-3, you want to get a whole lot of spacing and just ball fake. Get cutters flat, get people cutting, flashing into the elbow, the foul line area. Rather than more dribbling, you want to pass and then attack the zone and then kick it out for somebody who's open for 3.
Inside out, always the best approach to attack a zone so you can get some of those perimeter shots. You just swing the ball around the perimeter for 20 seconds, you're likely going to be taking a contested shot. And you're right, Coach. Ball fakes make the defense move. Got to see more of that from Lee County.
Great trap right here for Lee County.
Trey Keith had nowhere to go. That'll force a timeout by Coach Forts and the Tri-City Bulldogs here. And no matter where you're watching NFHS Network, wherever you are, whatever you may be doing, always have your phone on you. It's the 21st century, so make sure you have that mobile app, because today's game's also available for all subscribers via the NFHS mobile app for Apple and Androids. Download the app from the App Store or Google Play Store to start watching live games wherever you are. I know I have the app. Love to just pull it out sometimes, see what a score of a game is or just catch a couple clips. Always fun to watch high school sports. And hey, there's so many high schools loaded down that says, thousands of games. There's always something going on. You can always watch some basketball. And now spring sports are in full swing. So much stuff going on NFHS Network. Really no place I'd be. I'm on there. Probably screen time's probably higher on there than ESPN or any of those other apps about sports.
Well, for one thing, Palmer, you ain't going to be on it tomorrow because you're going to be on spring break. So you're going to be on the beach somewhere tomorrow.
As long as I have cell service, maybe tune into
I'm not sure if you're going to be able to tune into the app if you on the beach.
I'll be able to get those 6A finals. That Grayson Wheeler game, I know myself as Palmer Ruth will definitely be tuning in. And I mean, such a great time to spend this evening with all of y'all here today. Andrew Tulowitzki, Jonathan Jones, been such a pleasure. But let's head back to the court because we got some action there. Wow, what a play by number 10 of Lee County. Ball with the turnover, they force another one. And this 3, no good. Could have predicted that one. Tri-Cities, after all that momentum going back and forth, ultimately does swing back into their possession here. That'll be Trey Keith, the mid-range jumper. He sinks it. So, lead back up to double digits here. Whew, that was a flurry of action after our little side conversation there. But slowing down here. A minute left to go in the quarter.
That's really the first shot by Hardwick that's been errant. Still a good look, but missed that one off the backboard. He's hit a couple of those already tonight.
Yeah, in the previous possession by Cameron Sanders, like when you get an offensive rebound, you don't want to get the offensive rebound in the paint and then shy away from going at the rim. Go at the rim, maybe the ref will give you the foul. But if you throw it up in there and you're trying to fade yourself back towards the sideline, you're never going to get that call.
So we'll see how this third quarter wrapped up. I know earlier so you said be within 10 headed into the fourth. Right now that's where Lee County is. I'm sure they'd want it to be closer, but they don't want Tri-Cities to score here and make it a bigger disadvantage. And a 3 would be painful, but it's sunk there by Carby Martin. What a shot by him, and that really makes it a tough mountain and a tough hill to climb here for Lee County and the Bulldog, and the Trojans. And a turnover here. They should get.
Wow, don't do that. Don't need it. Don't need it.
What'd you see there?
So I just like it was about to be a fast break, I think, for Martin, and I think it was Hardwick who just grabbed him. Right? You don't need that because you never know what the refs might call on that.
And if Tri-Cities is not in the bonus, you might be okay with that foul call or taking the foul in that situation if you're Hardwick, but they're in the bonus. So you're essentially stopping the clock. You're giving them free opportunities here after they already built the lead up to 13.
And it could be up to 15 after this shot. It's tough to come back from. And this third quarter felt like Lee County had momentum. They were kind of coming back, as he's been playing great all night, but there, just a tough mistake by the senior.
Yep, and Jones made the first one. Let's see if he makes this one.
But at one point, it was within 8 this quarter. It was like, all right, Lee County was down 12 going to halftime. Now it's 8. Let's see what they can do in the fourth. But now, down 15, they continue to dig their hole.
They had the ball, too, when they were down 8 with an opportunity to cut it to a 5 or 6 point game.
And things could get worse. We still got 10 seconds before halftime. Hardwick's shot somehow finds its way in.
Need to stop.
5 seconds to go here. Number 11 with it. Going to be Jones. No good. But Tri-Cities does a great job to close out that quarter. Now up 13. And we'll be back for the final 8 minutes of 5A Final Four basketball here in a few moments.
There have always been a few ready to fight and win. Since 1775, these few have been Marines, and they come from across this land to defend the future of our nation. This year, our Corps celebrates 250 years, and Marines are proud to serve this country, each other, and all that is still to come for America.
What a day it has been for 5A Final Four games, and we're here in the final 8 minutes of the final game. Tri-Cities leads 57-44 here in the fourth quarter. Will they advance to Macon, or will Lee County come back in a thriller? They're going to need some big shots here. Instead, it'll be a turnover. Fast break. Here we go. Can we see something fun? Yes, we can. Van Dorn brings the hammer.
And that could have put the game away right there. You hate to say it at 15, but as well as Tri-Cities has played, it kind of feels that way. Van Dorn has had his way tonight. I think that puts him over 20 points. Hit several threes, 10 for 10 at the free throw line. An emphatic dunk there in transition.
And everything that Van Dorn has been doing is not anything that's outside of the offense. He's playing defense. He's on the top of the 1-2-2 press. He's doing everything for his team, and the game is coming to him. He's just playing basketball. He's just doing really great. Like I said, for Georgia Southern, that's an awesome get.
And they're actually playing Georgia State right now, so I wonder how that game is going down there. So we're here, obviously, at Georgia State's campus in the Convocation Center. 3 by number 0 for Lee County. Doesn't even make contact with anything except for the ground. So Tri-Cities keeping up the pace, keeping up the momentum. They don't care that they're up this much. They're going to keep the pedal to the metal and play their brand of basketball. Looks like an injury here, number 0 on Lee County, Torrin Williams, holding his nose. May have been caught up in the contact.
Yeah, he might be bleeding from his nose.
Was he the one guarding the ball there? Looked like some physicality both from the offensive and defensive player. He might have got caught with a hand or an elbow by the offensive player.
I think that's exactly what happened.
And I could kind of sense a little bit for Lee County, everybody's getting a little bit restless. Let me try to see if I can do this. It's just continue to play your game. Continue to play your game.
Some interesting play design there, but doesn't work out. And I know they're not looking forward to their 175-mile drive back to Leesburg, Georgia. This game doesn't go their way. The bus ride after the end of the season's bad, but when it's that long, I'm sure it won't be pleasant, especially this late at night. Putback is good there by Cameron Sanders. Feel like we haven't said his name in a long time, and we were in the first quarter praising him for being an Air Force commit, hit that deep three. Feels like it's one of the first times he's finally getting back into the action.
And what you see sometimes, again, Tri-Cities has tried to face guard both Sanders and Moore. You don't play a lot of teams that do that, that completely try to take you away. And so you don't practice against that a lot. And so sometimes you come into these games and it takes you a while to adjust and get used to how the defense is playing things. And I think you've seen that here tonight. It's caused some difficulties for Lee County on the offensive end.
So for some people who are watching who don't know exactly what face guarding is, what does that look like? Obviously I can look down the court but kind of explain it.
So literally, like, if for those of you at home or you watching this on your app, if you just look at yourself in the mirror, get close to your mirror as possible, that's face guarding somebody at face value.
Just very aggressive, hands in the face.
It just means you're just not even watching what else is going on. You just got whoever it might be. It could be Braden Moore in front of you. It could be, Carby Martin. You're just making sure that they just don't catch the ball. Wherever they go, you go. You're literally mirroring whatever they're doing.
Really, it's an effort to keep the ball out of their hands. These are guys that can make plays with the basketball. You want to limit the amount of times they touch the ball. So, like Coach said, you are up in their face. And normally a good defender is a good help side defender. Not in this game. You want your good defender to be all over Sanders and all over Moore.
That's right there from the line. Sanders makes both of his free throws. Got some open space, but rejected there. Number 13, Chroma, blocking that one. Now a little bit of aggressive offense. Taken away, still fighting. Wow, Braden Moore
can do it.
You got to be careful, too. He grabbed the ball through the net. The ref looked at him like he was ready to give him a tech because I know they already have a warning. Whoa, here's a scrum.
All righty, Braden Moore once again.
Sidestep.
Sinks it. This gym is fired up right now. There's an injury down on the court. We'll be back. But wow, this momentum here, swinging here. A 7-point game, 6 minutes to go. What just happened?
Like I said, Braden Moore, he plays really hard. He's really intense. Everything he does, he has that kind of like energy to him. He's, like I said, if he gets himself going, he can do so much for Lee County.
He's got a couple deflections. He finished a couple plays in the paint off creative one-foot finishes. And this is as close as Lee County has been since the second quarter, I believe.
Yeah. But Tri-Cities looking to re-extend their lead. Trey Keith with 2.
And it's just amazing. Like, he's a sophomore. It's just really amazing to me. This kid is good.
Probably can't even drive right now as there's the 3. Way short. But Chroma's shot blocked.
By Van Dorn.
Whoa. Physicality here. Whistle blown, and we're going to be very...
It's a fun game, guys.
I wouldn't expect anything less from this.
All these games have been a blast.
It's the nightcap. It's the last game. It's Friday night here at the Georgia Convocation Center.
Convocation, yeah.
I finally said it right, but where else would you rather be?
See if Tri-Cities can answer here. You got wide pick and roll. Trey Keith.
Might have been a little bit of a heat check there for Keith.
That'll be Lee County ball. Our very own photographer down there on the court, Frederick Johnson, almost ran over right there at his little stool, but looks all good and fine and dandy.
I just love the effort that both of these teams are playing with. They are laying it on the line. They're getting on the floor. They're doing everything they can to win this game.
That's an interesting tactic this early into the fourth quarter. It's not like there's a minute left. We just got 5 to go. And also, Tri-Cities in some foul trouble right now. Lee County being in the bonus this early into the quarter is going to be something maybe they can take advantage of.
And Braden Moore has been the aggressor. He has gotten really aggressive in the second half. And now this is what we talked about early in the game. I said if he can get to 8 or 10 free throw attempts, and I think here is his 7th and 8th free throw attempt. He's been very aggressive, and his aggressiveness has helped get Lee County back in this game.
And since y'all have played basketball, he had some free throw attempts in the first quarter. Does having those, I'll call them warm-up shots earlier in the game, help you be able to perform better later in these games and these more important free throws?
Well, it's not so much more important, but like when the time presents itself for you to deliver for your team, prime time like tonight, for Braden Moore, he has to do it. He's one of those guys, like I say, he can shoot, he can drive, he can pull up for 2, all of those things. So that's what we need.
Tri-Cities a little bit caught off guard here in this fourth quarter. They felt like things were handled. Now we're talking about a 7-point ball game with 5:15 in the fourth. This one is going to come down to the wire. We can't wait to bring it here for you on the NFHS Network. But I mean, moving over to Lee County, they got to be quite pleased. Still a lot of work to do. Games far from over, far from, they still got to put up 7. 7. But I'm sure they're quite pleased with how this quarter's gone these first 3 minutes.
They've been the aggressor in this fourth quarter, and Tri-Cities has not handled the pressure particularly well. They've turned the ball over a couple times. That's led to runouts and one-on-one opportunities in the paint for Lee County. You've seen Braden Moore get to the free throw line. Tri-Cities is now in foul trouble. You feel like momentum has shifted. And just less than 2 minutes ago, this was a 15-point game.
And we are here at the Georgia State Convocation Center in Atlanta.
Indeed we are.
Really right in the center. You look outside, you see the Olympic torch. You look the other way, you see Turner Field, formerly where the Braves used to play, the parking lot where Fulton County Stadium used to be. You see the Georgia State Dome. I mean, we are really in the thick of it here in Atlanta. And personally, I say we should bring the state championship to Atlanta, move from Macon, maybe put it at Georgia Tech. I think that would be something to see. Just putting that out there.
I think there's a lot of people that would agree with you, Palmer.
I like spreading things around the state because, again, we got Lee County who would love to much rather be playing in Macon than in Atlanta right now. They'd much rather be in that Fort Valley State semifinals. But, I think the facilities in Atlanta are just top-notch. Shot doesn't go. Second attempt doesn't go either. Lee County ball. Rolling around on the ball. Can they get out of it? Yes, they can. Foul call. And that's going to send Braden Moore back to the line.
That's one of those things for Wingfield where it's like you don't want to compound your mistake. You missed the layup, that's fine. You missed the second one, that's fine. But don't compound it by now fouling Braden Moore where he's just going to go to the line. And there's just more points for them.
I was one of those coaches when I coached, like when the other team had the ball, whether it was defensive rebound or turnover, like let's just sprint back. Let's set our defense and try to get a stop. There you saw Tri-Cities get a little bit too aggressive, and it led to a foul.
Ooh, missed the 1-and-1. Oh, no, shooting 2.
Yeah, 2 shots. Again, one of those rule changes that we talked about earlier.
Yeah.
And we're used to the college game where you had the 1-and-1 and the 2-shot bonus.
Another free throw for, if people want to, Braden Moore's IG is B_Shiesty2.
Wow. When did he come up with that one?
I mean, it's B Shiesty too.
You thought it was important enough to write down. So
I just thought that was kind of like, I was like, wow, that's different.
I might drop a follow if they come back and win this one.
So I will too.
But speaking of B Shiesty Moore, he's gonna go in the lay. Lands.
I love it. I love it. B Shiesty too. Oh, sorry, we can't. Folks at home, don't worry about us. We're just having a good time. It's our last game here.
Fans are amped up, so are we. Let's see how this one closes out. Trey Keith, as right now, nothing going the way of Tri-Cities.
It's time for them to settle down. This is an experienced basketball team. They won a lot of games.
4 minutes in the game as there's a deep 3. Doesn't land. Whistle blown. And that'll be Tri-Cities ball still. They called that one on number 15, Hardwick. He didn't see the guy behind him just trying to back up, watching the ball, and was too aggressive for the officials' liking. 4 minutes to go. Now 25 on the shot list. But Lee County only 2 fouls this quarter. They played clean. As I say that, another whistle blown. Let's make it an even 3. I think by the end of this, both teams are going to be in the bonus. It's just how this game is shaping up. Then I'll send Jordan Houston with a foul. Then I'll send Carby Martin to the line.
It's like, as the game's going on, next thing you know, you look up and it's like, okay, it's only a 5-point game.
And this is by far the closest game that Tri-Cities played this playoffs. Won every game by at least 15 coming into this one.
They do always schedule tough in non-region, so they've played some good, tight, close games. They've lost some close games, but they haven't been tested in at least 4 or 5 games since the region tournament.
I mean, they schedule Lee County in non-conference. Oh, 3 goes in and out, but look at it. Lee County gets the ball. Oh, just bad pass right there. Trying to be aggressive. And a good job there by Trey Keith to score 2. And that'll force.
It looked like Trey Keith, when he was, after he made the layup, was running back. He ran right into Cameron Sanders on that.
Hit him in the knee or the groin or something. Obviously, Sanders shaken up.
Nothing intentional there whatsoever. Just good old-fashioned basketball here.
And we know, Cameron Sanders is tough. He's going to Air Force.
Yeah.
So he can take a little hit.
Pretty surprised. Like back in the day, they wouldn't let pilots be that tall, but I guess for the basketball team, they make exceptions in Air Force. They don't care how tall you are as long as you can hoop.
All right, now let's see when it comes down to execution. Let's see what Tri-Cities comes up with here.
8-point ball game. Turnover, fighting for the ball. Lee County has it. They're going to give it to their one and only Matt. Number 2. Braden Moore.
This is one of the situations where, now all the little things matter. How do I break to get open at the top of the key? Do I just stand there and just put my hand out, or do I get into my defender and then break with 2 hands and go get the ball?
Lee County taking their time, patient with it. Whistle blown.
The referees are really calling it tight. They're really calling it tight.
And remember, first quarter, we were like, they're not calling anything. The whistle's not getting any use, and they have shifted on that one. I didn't even see what they blew that on. I was paying attention to the person with the ball and just didn't see a whistle.
It looked like Carby Martin was trying to defend Braden Moore off the ball, was being a little bit too physical, and they called the foul.
I know we said they got rid of flopping. I don't think that Braden Moore is flopping whatsoever, but he does a good job of forcing defenders to have to foul against him to stop him and getting those calls.
He doesn't stop working for the ball, and that puts a lot of pressure on the defender who's trying to guard him.
First shot goes in for ball.
And it may have been where Martin ran through the screener or something, because obviously Moore's not at the line shooting the free throws.
Doesn't matter as ball makes both of them.
Yeah, for Coach Forts right now, I know he's just like, let's just execute. Here comes the pressure. Let's be engaged. Don't get yourself trapped. Ball fake.
Well, speaking of being trapped, Forts got a timeout called in time, and he is fired up at his players. Very frustrated with their performance. See him right there, getting on Trey Keith. Not happy with how he handled that press there.
As I watch Coach Forts, I just love the passion that he gives his team. And for those that you are watching, you might think, it might be a little bit too aggressive, but sometimes coaches, like I said, they're just as competitive. I don't know, I'm not sure where he played, but if you ever played basketball before, as you coach and you actually love what you do, the passion will just exude out of you.
And we know he can win, approaching 400 wins. Compared to Lee County, they've done a good job, but there's a lot more work still to be done. Down 6, sure, that's 2 possessions. You have to continue to get stops, and you have to continue to make shots. And it's not really 2 possessions because they would probably have still only made about 3 threes this game. So it's going to take a lot of effort out of them in these final 2 minutes and 44 seconds.
But 6 points, a 6-point deficit in 2:44 is not too much to overcome. No. You saw it was a 15-point lead down to 7 in less than 2 minutes. So these guys at Lee County, they can get back in this game, continue to apply pressure, and continue to be aggressive on the offensive end of the floor.
And this is where also, too, at one point, it could just get for Lee County 1 stop, and they make a 3-point shot. And then another stop, and then another 3-point shot, and the game is all of a sudden tied up.
Shot clock dwindling here, just based off when they called that timeout. Approaching 10 now. 2:30 in the ball game. They're in a good opportunity here. Trey Keith will take it. Pull up. No good, but get tipped back in. That's number 21, Sean Van Dorn. Who else with it? Braden Moore now.
Just all night, it's just been Van Dorn. Just every time, Tri-Cities need something, he just answers the call.
Van Dorn and Moore have been the two highlights, one on each side of the ball, or for each team. Whistle blown there, much to the dismay of some of the Bulldog fans.
Fouls on number 10, Andrew Jones, his 4th personal.
Andrew Jones with 4 personal fouls to his name.
Correction, his 3rd.
Pardon me. Not my mistake. The PA said 4th. I trusted him. Actually, his 3rd. But that'll send number 3, Cameron Sanders, to the line. And they're making their free throws. It's not just that you have to get to the line, you have to make the shots and capitalize on those opportunities, and they've done just that here.
Yep, and expect the press here from Lee County right away.
Spot on about that. Nothing crazy aggressive here. They step up. Get it back to their guy, Trey Keith.
And the game is in the balance. It's in the balance. They're only down 6.
But they were down 6, 45 seconds ago on the game clock, and still 6. You got to outscore the other team. You can't just equal them being down this much. And Trey Keith will drill an important 3 to make this 9.
Just imagine having Trey Keith on your team. He's a sophomore. He's already scored 1,000 points. Then you got Martin, who's a lefty. He also already has 1,000 points. There's 2 players on your team who are 1,000-point scorers that make big shots when they need them.
I don't think Coach Forts is complaining about Trey Keith. I know he got a little bit frustrated about him earlier, but very happy to have him being a Trojan, or pardon me, a Bulldog.
It's all good.
So back to the line will be number 3, Sanders. (70-62) here. Sanders looks to make it a 3-point game. Under 90 seconds here.
So Lee County's got to be, Sanders makes this, everybody's pressing, we're trying to get a steal, and they're thinking, let's try to get a quick shot if we can and score and then press again.
Oh, whistle blown there. Just that swarming defense trying to get that steal.
Fouls on number 10.
But again, they did a great job earlier this quarter, not fouling a ton when they didn't need to, which is continuing to keep Tri-City out of the bonus compared to Lee County, who's been able to capitalize. Still a 7-point ball game here. Tri-City's done a good job kind of matching blow for blow with Lee County. They're just going to lob it up. That's an aggressive inbound. Doesn't work out for them. And now on the offense, whoa.
That ball was tipped. That ball was, it was not tipped.
Yeah, he never ruled. From the get-go, you saw the official was waiting for him to grab it, and I didn't see it being tipped, to be honest. And that's the problem when you're playing such a, we saw the turnover, literally the possession before, just the aggressive defense forcing turnovers just based off having to try too hard on passes. And I believe we'll have a timeout here.
Timeout, Lee County.
Lee County.
1 minute, 15 seconds remaining in the 4th quarter. Tri-City 70, Lee County 63.
But tomorrow, what a spectacle we'll have, just as good as today. But 6A, the biggest classification in Georgia now, including one of the big highlights, Grayson Wheeler. I'm sure this gym is going to be packed. It's going to be rocking. 2 local schools, so their fan base will be out in full support, and it's on a Saturday. And you can always catch tomorrow's game, available for all subscribers via the NFHS Live mobile app for Apple Android devices. Download the app from the Apple Play Store or Google Play Store today to start watching live games wherever you are. And even if you're in the Convocation Center, might as well pull up that broadcast. We're a little bit behind what's happening in live action, and we know you want to hear our great announcing. So let's close out these final minute 15. Trey Keith with it. Already under pressure, but they find the wide open 0. That's going to be Quintavian Thurman. Haven't said his name much tonight, but with a big lay.
Big time finish and a big time game. And for Coach Forts to put him in the game at this point shows how much trust he has in him.
Tri-City's bench waving goodbye to number 13 as he leaves the court.
Well, the game still isn't over, but for Lee County, on the make or miss, they already know what they have to do. They have to push the ball up, get a shot as quick as possible, or get to the rim, and they're right into a press again. Now, I ain't no Trace McGrady out here, so you ain't going to make, 12, whatever he made was like 10 points in like 13 seconds, but it could happen.
Never say never is the three off the front of the rim. Good rebound there by Van Dorn. He's going to try to go the whole way. Unsuccessful. Now number 10 for the Trojans. His shot now short. They rebound. Did he go out? Whistle blown, and it will be Bulldogs ball.
Looked like Hartwick just ran right into Sanders there.
If there's anyone you want to run into on the court, it's not Hartwick.
Probably not.
Don't think that'll go well for you.
Looks like Sanders might be bleeding from his mouth from that fall.
Yeah. We'll see. And they'll pull him over to the sideline, get a trainer over to him.
If he comes out because of this, this is a great game by Sanders. He's an awesome kid. Plays hard. Princeton thing would be he can dribble, pass, shoot. He can definitely do those things. So for Air Force, for them to get him is amazing.
But 2 guys fouling out for Lee County is kind of crazy here. Important players, especially Sanders himself. But 46 seconds to go, and it looks like this will be ball game. Amazing job here by Troy Keith not to get fouled or to get caught on a travel right there. Now Van Dorn finally gets fouled. So that is pretty much ball game here. What could very quickly become a double-digit point depending on what Van Dorn does. But Lee County did not go down without a fight here. They put their all into it, had a great third quarter and a great early fourth quarter. What a season for them. You see one of their seniors, number 15, Matthew Hardwick, with a big hug to Coach Davis, who has just done a great job with this program.
Yeah, and Lee County, give him credit. Braden Smith I said Braden Smith. Sorry about that. Braden Moore played really well tonight. In Lee County, Cameron Sanders had to lead the game because he was bleeding. Another kid on.
He's back now.
Yeah, he's back now. Williams had to lead the game because his nose was, they played everything. They literally left everything out here on the floor tonight. And it doesn't go unnoticed. This is definitely a tough team, and unfortunately, they will fall a little bit short on this evening.
30 seconds. Trying to do anything they can. Shot goes over the back of the backboard, stays in play, and now Trey Keith, is he gonna dunk? Misses it. Ooh, doesn't look good. Not a good look there for him. No whistles being blown here. I think the refs just letting this one play out. They don't care. 14 came into the game late. Misses his shot. Less than 10 seconds to go. Still fouling is Lee County. They're still trying their best here, although I don't think you can make up 11 in 7.3 seconds. That would take one heck of a miracle.
Lee County I wouldn't hang my head at all. Coach has done a really great job. I wouldn't even be mad at this game. They played their hearts out. They did everything they can do.
A great season.
And like I said, for Coach Davis and the staff, they gave a good shot for Tri-Cities tonight. But they Tri-Cities started off great. That's another thing, too, to talk about in these games for high school. The start is it's everything. If you start off great, next thing you know, even if they start to come back in the game, you kind of had a great start. So now it's almost like Lee County is always playing catch-up. Mm-hmm. So when you have a great start to, especially in a game like this here in Georgia State Conference, I can't say it. I try to say it. Georgia State. I still can't say it, but you get the point.
Georgia State Convocation Center. Tri-City takes down Lee County 75-63 to advance to Macon for the 5th time in 9 years. They've done it before. They'll do it again. They'll try to win their 3rd state championship in 9 years. And what a great job that Coach Forts has done. So close to 400 wins. But again, we keep talking about what a great effort there by Lee County. Great season for them. A historic season to make it this far. No one really saw them being here, but they were here and they showed that they deserved to be. But man, what a game by Tri-Cities, pardon me. They start off hot and they're gone.
They're out of
running
here.
back to Hapeville. They're running back to College Park. They're done with this convocation center.
Exactly. I can't. It's okay.
Maybe they're running the 84 miles to make it. I don't know. But hopefully Coach Amari Forts isn't running with them, because we'll hopefully get an interview with him in just a few minutes and hear about what he thinks about his guys. As there goes Lee County away. Back to Leesburg, Georgia. And in a few moments, some hands to shake, a lot of celebration.
I think Tri-Cities is running to see the Georgia Southern game versus Georgia State.
Let's head down to Tulo with Coach Forts.
Here with Coach Amari Forts. Coach, Lee County cut it to 4 on 2 different occasions. Talk about the toughness and resiliency of your team to finish that thing strong.
We represent a community that's born and bred through toughness. College Park, Hapeville, and East Point is full of people who are resilient, grinders, who work hard. We've been tested in critical games this year, playing some of the best competition, not just in Georgia, but in the country. And we were prepared for the moment.
So you won a state championship in 2019. You won another in 2022. Now you're in search of number 3. Talk about the journey and what your expectation is for that state championship in Macon next week.
The journey is a joy. We're playing a very familiar opponent who smacked us around the last couple of times we played them. It's going to be a battle. A team from College Park is going to win the state championship.
Coach, best of luck.
Thank you.
Well, that journey will certainly do something definitely a lot harder than the fake journey I made from Atlanta to make it. Definitely one of my highlights calling these games here today. I mean, absolute pleasure to bring you all of these semifinal games, and we have the 5A championship bracket set. The championship on the boys' side will be Tri-City going up against Woodward, and then on the girls' side, Langston Hughes against River Ridge will be some amazing matchups that you can catch on GPB March 7th in the Macon Coliseum. But I just want to thank all of y'all for tuning in, spending your Friday evening and afternoon here with myself, Jonathan Jones, Andrew Tulowitzki, as well as our amazing crew that we have had. Such a pleasure. Thank you guys so much. And I want to shout out all of our crew: Asher Fink, Nico Searle, Daniel Estrada Hernandez, Daniel Searle, Anali Granado, as well as closing it off, last but certainly not least, Jason Crow. We'd love to have some new faces here on this WCAT broadcast on NFHS Network. Thank you guys so much, and good night.